So when I get released, they released me and Quan together. And outside of the jail, Quan said he made a comment and was like, money talks or something similar to those words. I don't know.
Did you have him elaborate on that, or did you ask?
No, I didn't ask. I was confused. He also said that Tory was trying to protect me, and I said, "Protect me from what?" Mm-hmm. He's like, you'll find out later. Like, everybody was playing mind games with me. I don't know what's going on. His friend, Quan's driver arrived. Her friend arrived, and he was like, "Man, why would, he was like, why would he, like, he was, like, I can't believe he did that." He asked if I was okay. This is Tory's, I think, best friend. I don't know his name. Or a friend. They were just all associated. Yeah. And he asked if I was okay.
To StreetTV.
And I'm just like, yeah, I'm still kind of in disbelief and shock. I called Megan's manager, and I was like, "Hey, can somebody come pick me up?" Actually, I texted her security, or I called him, one of the two, and he said, "Call Jilly." So I called her, or texted. I have to go back and see. And she came immediately. I went to her house. She gave me a pair of changed clothes because my clothes were ripped from the altercation. Discarded them in her house. From there, I asked her, like, "How is Megan? Can I see Megan?" We went to the hospital. I sat outside the hospital. Like, I was not outside the room or anything. I was actually outside, sitting in the car on the street. Okay. She said that Megan couldn't have guests. So I thought that was accurate. I thought that was true. And I'm still sitting in the car. I received a call from a jail. Didn't think that it was Tory because I actually knew somebody in jail, and he had called often, and I would answer his call. And so I just thought it was him because it was normal for him to call early or late. So when I answered it, it was Tory. I know in that call he did ask where Megan was, and I believe I told him in the hospital. I believe he apologized.
And what do you think he was apologizing for?
I mean, everything that unfolded that night and the incident.
Okay.
That was that. And I mean, I never got to see Megan since then.
Yeah.
You didn't see her at all since she went to the hospital?
No. Did
you talk to Megan at least over the phone or by text at some point?
Later on in text messages, we did talk. She had finally texted me. But, this is somebody that I was with for years, day to day, every day. I know her. Like, that was my best friend. Mm-hmm. I knew her like the back of my hand. I honestly still feel like I know her like the back of my hand. Nothing's really changed. I'm somebody that, I know everything. I'm the first person. Her team's going to make sure I'm right there. Kelsey doesn't leave Megan's side. That's how we operate.
Right.
So when I just, I kept asking, "Can I see Megan?" I actually went back to the house. "Can I see Megan? Can I see Megan?" I'm still checking for her. Nobody's kind of giving me any information on it. So I kept blowing it off. I was like, okay, maybe I can't have guests.
You're listening to StreetTV.
Desiree, Rock Nation. She told me that Megan was going to be down for a while, almost a year. And I believed it.
What do you mean she's going to be down for a while? What does that mean?
Like injury, out of commission. Okay. I believed it. Mind you, I'm at this house. This house is big. I'm by myself. I'm still in shock. I had never even experienced PTSD, but I knew that day when I went back to the house, it was started to hit me. Yeah. So I had nobody with me. So I did ask, can I, hey, I might go back, I'm considering going back to Houston while Megan is healing, because they had already told me that she would be down, and they wouldn't let me go see her. So, or they said she couldn't have guests. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to consider going back to Houston until she's healed. And then I also need to go seek, treatment, make sure I'm okay. I had bruises all over me. My body was in pain. My back was hurting, which I disclosed to them. I said, so I'll let you know a date and a time to book my flight. So I actually ended up booking my support to come out to LA to be with me at the house. So I didn't need my flight anymore. But no sooner can I send that text, they had a flight booked for me like 2 hours later. Mind you, Megan had just asked me to get rid of my apartment, so I had like all my stuff there at the house. So me and Desiree Pettis, she communicated with me. I said, hey, like I have a flight in 2 hours. Nobody told me, like, and I don't have, like, what am I supposed to do right here? Like, my stuff. And she tells me that it's best that I find a rental in Houston, or just find a rental. LA is dangerous right now. That house isn't safe to be at, so I was like, okay, so just to be clear, you're telling me I need to move. I need to move after I just made an immediate move down here. Like, mind you, this is all while I'm confused and hurt and like, so I'm having to deal with all this, and I can't even just kind of try to get my mind right. So she's like, yes, and I'm like, okay. So I said, well, can you at least rebook my flight for a different date? Like, just let me try to get help to help me move my boxes and stuff. I had heavy stuff. And they said, okay, just let us know what date you want to leave. And the driver that had arrived, we actually were supposed to have, we had other obligations. So a driver just appeared, thankfully. And he actually helped me get all my stuff out of that house. And I went and I booked a hotel.
You're listening to Street TV.
Yeah.
Did Tory try reaching you after the shooting?
He did.
What happened?
So the first call came through Quan, if I'm not mistaken. And he was whispering. And I'm like, who is this? He's like, big head. Stop acting like you don't know who this is. So, I believe those are the words he said.
Big head? What is that?
Big head. I don't know. Like I said, we've never met, or like we've never had that. So I think, I don't know.
But you think it was Tory whispering to you on Quan's
No, it
phone?
wasn't. It was definitely Quan.
Oh, it was Quan was talking, okay.
Yeah. And basically he was just like, he had our stuff. I guess our suitcases and things had been released to him. And he had our stuff, let's make arrangements to pick it up. And so I was okay to meet with him to pick my stuff up because, like, I have to go back to Houston. Every piece of item that I had, I needed, And he was like, maybe I'm trying to remember his full. I believe that was really it.
And this was, the next day, or when was this?
Honestly, I would have to look back,
okay.
And it wasn't far from that date.
Yeah.
Don't lose train of thought.
It's okay. It's a long day.
Yeah, I know.
So he'd asked you to go pick up, if you wanted to pick up the stuff.
The suitcases, yes. So, I dropped him, my pin to my hotel. I believe this is the communication with me and the security guard. And I want to make sure I'm being accurate with that.
When you say the security guard, are we talking about
the driver, Quan? Mm-hmm. Sorry. I really don't know what the role was. He was everything.
If it's easier, we can refer to Quan as Quan versus
okay,
Justin
Quan.
as Megan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so he came. He actually asked me to come to a studio location, and I said, no, I don't feel safe doing that. He's like, why? Like, you act like something's gonna happen, and I'm like, I just don't feel safe doing that. We're not friends.
You're listening to Street TV.
When they came, it was Tory, Quan, and it was another individual. I don't know who he was. I think he was Caucasian, if I can't remember. Prior to me actually going out to meet with him, I did, I updated my sister and I said, hey, like, just letting you know this is my location. I was still taking safety precautions because I was scared still. And I got in the vehicle. Quan stepped out. Tory was driving. And, not driving. He was on the driver's side. It was parked.
And this is outside of the hotel?
This is outside my hotel. And in that car, he was like, Kelsey, he was very apologetic. Mind you, this is somebody, me, Megan, and him. We were all friends up until that night. Mm-hmm. So although I was scared, and I still was like, let me hear him out. Mm-hmm. This night, it was a night gone bad. Mm-hmm. Alcohol was involved, and I know he regretted it. Mm-hmm. And so he was just apologetic. He said, Kelsey, she attacked me with my artistry. That's what really bothered him, and that's what he put emphasis on. And I said, Tory, but you're wrong. You're wrong. I made sure I made him aware that he was wrong.
That what he did was wrong.
What you did was wrong. Like, why would you pull out a gun? Like, none of this is okay. And I told him, I'm not okay right now. Like, my mental state is not okay. I have injuries. Like this is not right. I said, Megan is shot. She's, or injured, or she's in the hospital.
Did he ever apologize to you?
Tory? He did apologize to me also. And he's just like, he's being very apologetic just for the whole situation. And I'm just like, you need to apologize directly with her also. I didn't know he had. At that point, I didn't know he had sent her messages. Me and Megan hadn't spoken. I'm reaching out, this prior to, I want to rewind. Prior to me even taking that meeting, it was like her team, they were treating me very weird, very strange, and I didn't understand why. I was reaching out to her team, I'm asking them, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm staying in the hotel, and finally, I think I sent, like, a long message, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, me and Megan should be moving as a unit. Like, why am I being kind of pushed out? Y'all told me to move. Where am I supposed to go home to? Mm-hmm. Megan had asked me to get rid of my apartment, and that's what I did. I've always had my own things, own stuff, always pay, so she asked me to get rid of it, and I did. And so I finally sent, like, a text, and it was just like, this isn't right. And Megan finally had called. I think they kind of sensed, like, Kelsey, and she's like, Kelsey, find a place to stay in Houston. I'm going to pay it up for a year. And I said, I said, Megan, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. She said, I'm going to be down for a year. Like, Kelsey, I'm like, I can't walk. And I'm like,
was the idea when she said she was going to pay for a place for a year, it was a place for also her to call home base in Houston?
No.
Okay. It was for you.
For me.
Just because she asked you to move, so she felt responsible that you didn't have a place and wanted to get you a place back in Houston.
Right.
Okay.
I never asked them to give me a spot. They did this voluntarily and for a year, which was not normal, because we're supposed to move as a unit. Mind you, I had also found out that she had left to New York. I guess she caught a jet. So I was just confused. I was very confused. Like, I'm still here in LA and y'all are, what's going on?
You felt like you're just in the dark.
I was very much in the dark. The people that I talk to every day and I'm with every day, and I would get immediate updates on anything, had shut me out. I didn't understand why. So anyways, and
let's go back to Tory.
Yeah, I'm about to get right back into that. So anyways, he to sum it up, he was very apologetic. I told him, you're wrong, like, for what you did, like, this is not okay. And he said that he said, Kelsey, like, what can I do? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What can you do? And I guess his lawyer, Holly, per him, has said that he goes, can I invest in a? Or do you need a job? Do you want to work with me? And I'm like, huh? Why do I need to work with you? Tory, I'm sorry, but no, I don't want any correlation with you. And he said, do you need me to get you a lawyer? And I said, I don't need you to do anything for me, Tory. Like, why do I need you to get me a lawyer?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, can I, what's something that you want? What's something you want to do? Like, do you want to invest into a business? And I'm like, huh? He said, Kelsey, basically, you know what I'm saying. His, per him, Sean Holly advised him to word it that way. And I told him, no, I don't need anything from you. And he's like, okay, well, just think about it and just let me know. And so at the end of that, he asked for a hug. And I said, I didn't want to hug him.
What did you think he was trying to accomplish by making that offer to you?
I don't know if he was just trying to right his wrongs for what he did to all of us. And me, of course, I don't want to assume anything, but I mean, I don't know if that was his way of, he don't want to pay directly for injury.
When he offered you all these things, was it over the course of just one conversation, one meeting, or was it the course of over several texts and phone calls or anything like that?
It was over a course, for sure.
Over texts, phone calls, do you remember?
I believe a phone call, yeah, and phone call and a text.
Do you remember if you still have that text?
When I tell you that phone, I have to go back and literally go through everything. It's like powered off.
Yeah. You still have that phone?
I do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So don't delete anything just in case. Go over it.
Okay.
All the things we talked about. When we want to ask you additional questions about it. Now, over the course of the phone calls or texts, when he's offering you these things, does it occur over several months, or what are we talking about here?
All the way up until I think you guys finally picked up charges on him.
Okay.
And then he stopped reaching out?
Then it stopped.
Okay.